Welcome back. It is 1566. In the last one, Amos started stepping out on his wife. Nicholas started thinking about his future, whether he should get remarried, and his woohoo partner wanted him to marry his daughter, and then it was really awkward because she was mean to Alice. And anyway, Alice ended up having to get emergency married to Bert because of their daughter, Joanna. And Gabriel is like, why are my children like this? So anyway, this year we have a couple of birthdays. So we have Gracia Heredia coming on a 2-4 or a 6. Oh no, Gracia. What is her... Wait, what do the Heredia children look like? Gracia. Oh, there's only the one left now. Everyone has been so lucky with their unlucky with their children. Okay, Molly and Richard both have to get at least a 7. Molly. Okay, those children are not going to be orphans, but they both lived, which, you know what, she should have lived instead of you, just saying. And then the end of life roll for Olivia, so she gets 14 more years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Olivia Larkin, even though she's a Crookshank now, but that's okay. Okay. So yeah, looks like Alphonse isn't going to last very much longer. And then Gabriel, oh my God, Gabriel is like the oldest heir we've ever had. Oh, and Amos, oh my gosh, we have a lot going on soon. Very, very much a lot. So we'll see where we go with all that. But anyway, Juliana's okay too. Yeah, we got a lot coming up in the future. So we got some things going on with politics as well. So anyway, let's hop into the game. All right, so we are going to actually start once again with Katarina. We are going to actually have her and Amos get into a fight because Amos has been entertaining Catherine as a potential, future partner, and Katarina is not happy about it. She doesn't know what to do to prevent him from doing such a thing, and she's mad because she didn't think that he was very much like his father, but I mean, she should have kind of realized that when she stole him away from another woman, that means someone can steal him away from you too. But what you gonna do? They are arguing, and he is basically telling her, look, you've failed to give me a son, and I need one. And my father agrees, and she's like, oh, seriously? Like, your dad's gonna die soon anyway. But, so his father agrees, and that he wants to leave her for Catherine. And she's like, excuse me? You don't get to leave me. So Katarina is known for taking what she wants, right? We don't blame her for this. She has every right to. But basically what's going to happen here is she has decided that she has one avenue that she can take here. If she doesn't want her husband to have another child, there's only one thing to do, and it's to poison him. So we are going to poison Amos. If he dies, then the heir, of course, would be her daughter. And it has to be her daughter because, he won't have had any other children. And so she poisons him, but she's like, I can't get in trouble for poisoning him, obviously. I mean, she did want to be a queen, and she's only ever going to be a princess, but what can you do, right? She at least is going to have her bloodline be the one. So anyway, she calls over Lawrence in secret and basically, says to him, hey, like, I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I know that we're relatives and we're friends and whatever. And she basically kind of tricks him into coming here and trying to meet with Amos to get his title back after the things that he's done. So, of course, Alphonse walks into the room, and Lawrence is there with Amos's dead body, and he comes to a conclusion that of course it was Lawrence who killed him, because Lawrence had his whole life and his title and everything stripped away from him because, of, their family. And so it only makes sense, right? And it does make sense. But it's just interesting, Katarina just kind of framing him for this, and of course him getting executed for the situation. So that is what's going on with Katarina. She is securing her legacy. That is what she is doing. So she's securing her legacy. We're going to have a quick memorial for Amos. Obviously, everybody is sad that the crown prince died. The next heir is none other than Audrey. So that is something that Katarina wanted. Her line will live on. Her line will become the next royal. And she's okay with that. She's okay with having to give up the title of queen if it means that she doesn't want Amos to leave her for someone else to have sons, right? Like, we've been there, we've done that, and she's not going to let that happen. So anyway, we're back home in our household. And we're actually going to start off by having Nicholas get called out by Damaris. She has kind of been the one who is pursuing him based on, her father's recommendation and everything. And they go out, and he's really surprised that she wants to go to such a place, like a pub like this. And they start drinking, and she encourages him to drink more. And we start to get into a bit of a sticky situation here, because obviously this is, her plan to basically, take advantage of him being under the influence in order to, make so that he has to marry her, because she can kind of sense his hesitation, especially after she was mean to his sister. And so she tries to, she's evil. So she does try to enact this plan, and luckily for Nicholas, because we don't really do that here in this story because it makes me uncomfortable, but luckily for Nicholas, the day is saved. Anne Light, formerly Light, now Heredia, kind of went downstairs and saw them leaving. She was sitting at the bar, so she saw this kind of happening, and she basically went down there to interrupt, and Damaris kind of, skedaddled, got away, so that, she wouldn't have anything happen to her reputation or anything, and Anne just kind of, interrupts the situation in a way in which Nicholas doesn't have any problems. So we're back here in the morning, and Nicholas, he does remember what happened, and he is really grateful to Anne for what she did for him. And so he's going to actually call her over so that he can give her a gift to basically, thank her for what she did for him. He is very grateful that she stepped in, because honestly, he doesn't know if he wants to marry Damaris or not. He doesn't really like the way she treated his sister, and he doesn't want to just marry her if he doesn't really know her or whatever. And basically, Nicholas actually jumps into things pretty quickly, but basically, he gives Anne a gift, and they're both really happy, and they get talking, and, she talks about how her husband died, and she didn't have any sons, and her brother just died. She is Amos's sister, and so she just kind of talks about how, her and her daughters are kind of in a tough spot lately and everything, and so it's really helpful for her that he gave her this monetary gift and everything. So she's grateful for that, and basically, she says to him, "Look, I know that you aren't really interested in getting remarried, and I need someone to help take care of me and my daughters. I don't really know what to do because of the situation I'm in. Despite the fact that I'm a princess, I still am kind of left in this situation where my father kind of doesn't care because I didn't have a son to inherit the title and all this stuff." And so she's telling him this, and she kind of says, we could get married just as an arrangement. I will give you children, and you can do whatever you want. I don't care. I just want to make sure that my daughters are taken care of. Of course, one of her daughters just died right now, but my daughter is taken care of. She wants to make sure that her daughter is taken care of, and she feels no support from her family, from her father. And Katarina's not really going out on a limb to help her, and he might even feel kind of responsible, her being Katarina's sister-in-law. And so honestly, this kind of exchange for marriage reminds him of Sibley in a way, right? It reminds him of Sibley. It reminds him of how she wanted to make a contract with him as well. And so he is kind of inspired by that, and he's like, let's go elope. Let's do it. And, this is just an arrangement. They're not in love. I know I made them in love because I don't have the arranged marriages mod in my game right now, but they're not really in love. She's here to secure a future for her family and to, you know, take care of herself and everything, and he's here to have some children, get his legacy going, but also still be able to do what he wants. Like I still am not convinced that he won't end up with a guy eventually, but that's not something socially that he could exactly do. He could live a life like Tobias's, where he, has a wife that he has an arrangement with, and then he also has, someone else. But we're going to explore that as the years go on. But I just think that, he kind of saw for a second Sibley in Anne, not in a romantic way, but in a like, Sibley did the same thing. And so that endeared him to Anne a little more. And, she's only a couple years older than him. She's not that much older than him. And she can still have children. And so he is definitely, gonna take that deal, because he doesn't feel in his heart that he could love someone right now, but he knows what he needs to do as his duty. And so that's what we're focusing on. And he basically brings Anne and her daughter home and is like, "Hey, family, this is my new wife." And Gabriel's like, "What?" Gabriel's like, "Hold on a second. Why does this keep happening to me?" And Gabriel just kind of pulls him aside and is like, "Hey, are you sure about what you're doing here?" And he's like, "Yeah, Dad, like, don't worry. She's a respectable woman. We're both remarrying because we're both widows. Like, you just gotta do what you gotta do." Anyway, then we're gonna head over to the this household, the one with Alice. Yes. Okay, so I was trying. Don't let her fool you. She already knows Bennett. Her and Bennett like sat next to each other at the wedding. Like, her and Bennett know each other pretty well. She's seen him around a couple of times, and she gets caught out in the rain one day, and he kind of comes to her rescue a little bit, and she's chatting with him, talking with him, and then she gets a crush. She gets a crush. And now keep in mind, Alice like married Bert very spur of the moment. She was not prepared for what she was, being immature about it, right? She was like, "Oh, I just want to get married. Let's just go get pregnant and marry the first guy." And she didn't think about what that would mean for her future. What if he really wasn't the kind of person she actually wanted to be with? All of this stuff. She did not think it through. She did not think it through. And now she finds another guy and she's like, "Oh, I think I have a crush on him. Like, I have a crush on this guy." And it's just like, Alice, get it together. But basically, she has a crush on Bennett, and so she kind of starts, flirting a little bit, and getting to know him a little bit better, meeting him at parks and stuff, kind of in secret. And he is very, he's interested in her. Why not? She's beautiful. She's young. She's got everything going for her. She's, except for the part where she's married, but these two are definitely starting to flirt with each other and starting to kind of spend more time together and all of that stuff. And so she is pretty interested in him, even if it's just on the side. She doesn't really know what she wants, right? Like, she's young. She rushed into marriage and now she doesn't know what she's doing. So, Alice, you really should be being faithful to your husband, but you're not, because you are still too immature. She's like, okay, in real life years, she is way too young. Like, she should not have been getting married that soon, and I didn't want her to get married and have a baby that soon, but someone decided to autonomously try for a baby, and that wasn't my fault. Anyway, so we have our couple back here. I am having them woohoo again, but I clicked on the toilet and we see throw up. Although I didn't realize she literally has a birthday next year. That's probably not good. Anyway, so, she has the throw up option. Very exciting. And she is going to, yep, just continue on like that. And we are going to try and think of what could be a good aspiration for her. I think I might try the inner peace one. I'm just trying to think of aspirations that would be appropriate for the time period. And even though it's kind of not, it's like, okay, it's okay. So, yeah, we are just spending some time with her. She is definitely pregnant, and we are going to work on some of their aspirations. Just have the family spending some time together, have Nicholas start working on his charisma and writing to get that last promotion so that Gabriel can finish his aspiration, and just everything is going pretty well in the household. It's a big surprise to add 2 more family members, but I think that, they'll blend in pretty well. Celestina is still young, very young, and then we do have Anne, who is, she is very agreeable, and she knows what she's doing, and she has the decorum to be a countess. So all good there. So in the next one, we will hope that Anne actually lives, but maybe she'll give us a baby and then die. We'll see. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and I'll catch you in the next one.